What's going on, beautiful people? This is the Perspective Chasers podcast, and I'm your host, John. On this episode, I want to talk about WW3. I mean, it's kind of hard not to. I've been trying to talk about things from my own perspective and everything else in, looking back in life. But with something like this going on, how much is being perpetuated around the media, social media, and everything else. For the most part, us civilians, for lack of a better way of putting it, are just trying to go about our daily lives. We don't want to be living in times of war. It's 2023. Realistically, we think of ourselves as this superior life form, that we're the most intelligent humans that have ever walked the face of the earth. Yet we're still fighting with one another. We're still battling over this, that, and everything else. And for the most part, I don't think most people want it. Quite frankly, it's been a long time since the people that are calling for the wars are the ones on the battlefields fighting them. And I'd never put down a soldier or anybody that fought for their country. Hats off to all of those men and women. It's something incredibly honourable. But what I am saying is the people that call for these wars ain't the people with their boots on the grounds fighting them. And the reasons that they give constantly get contaminated. It's very rare that, I don't think it's ever going to happen in war where a country comes out better than they went into it. I mean, they might gain territory or finances or whatever else, but the loss of life, the torture and torment in the meantime, is it really worth any of it? At times where we're talking of conquering space, creating artificial intelligence and everything else, shouldn't we have a bit of intelligence ourselves and see that there are ways with dealing with conflicts that don't involve sacrificing lives, that don't involve being at war with one another? I think more people than not want to enjoy their life, go about their life. It's for the general population in that sense, war is of no interest to them, and it's of no benefit to them. Don't get me wrong, if there's situations or whatever else, but I'm talking in a general here. If we're talking as in a general World War III, everybody's going at it. I don't think anybody wants that. People just want to live their life. And again, I could always be wrong. But I know I want to live my life. I want to watch my daughter grow up. I want to continue to grow myself. I've got dreams and goals and aspirations in life. I don't want to be seeing nuclear fallout and this, that, and everything else because people can't get along in the 2024. It's ridiculous that when will we get to a time where we can move beyond these petty conflicts? And again, I might get some stick for saying petty conflicts, but a lot of these conflicts date back way before a lot of us. But yet we still carry that torch. We still perpetuate those problems of the past. Should we not be moving towards a better time? Not worse times. Not people living in fear, being told to stock up on candles and batteries in case everything goes off. And it's one of those ones where I've always said that if it was all to go to hell, let it happen while I was young, because I don't want to be frail and unable to hold my own. But now I don't want it to go off at all. I want to be able to enjoy life. Like I say, we should get to the point where we've evolved past petty, or not even petty conflict, just conflict in general. An eye for an eye helps nobody. It just leaves everybody blind. So when's the time to move above it? And a lot of us, myself included, don't understand the origins of these conflicts. Like I say, some of these conflicts started decades and decades ago, if not centuries ago, for territory, for land, for this, that, and everything else. Yet they still go on today. They might wear a different mask, but it's the same conflict. It's the same agenda in mind. Now, this episode might get suppressed as anything, but so be it. This is something that I've always thought in that sense. I mean, nobody's going to win in the war. People are always dying. The only benefit to the people calling for the wars is they're not the one with their boots on the ground. They're not the ones sacrificing their brothers, sisters, husbands, children, wives, you name it. All of these people with their boots on the ground sacrificing to protect the ones they have at home. But it's not their war. They didn't call to go to war. They're there trying to uphold and protect the ones they love, not perpetuate the cycle. So, again, it's kind of that shallow reality that if you ask anybody, would we evolve to a time without war as humans? They'll know it's in our nature. But does it really have to be in our nature? If we're that sophisticated, if we're that intelligent, if we're that evolved, shouldn't we evolve away from these barbaric tactics? Wouldn't it be better for everybody to live in a peaceful, harmonious world where we all work to better each other instead of fighting for land, for resources, for power? When realistically, it's all temporary. So you're sacrificing the lives of your nation, of your friends, of your family for something that's not necessarily going to last. Now, the thing is, there's always going to be that push and pull in life. There's always going to be somebody else that wants to take something, and that does get into the thing of you need to protect what you've got and this and everything else. But I think it's more a question of we all have to be wiser than, instead of all joining the fight, trying to de-escalate the fight. Because nobody wins when you escalate the fight. Anyway, I've rambled on enough about de-escalation, and like I said, I don't know how this episode is going to do. But I'm interested in that. The biggest sentiment from this episode is, shouldn't we be heading towards more peaceful times? Not more terrifying times? And if we can all do that, does it not better everybody? Every single living thing would benefit if all humans got along. And yeah, it might be a big ask, but if we never try to get towards it, we'll never get there at all. Anyway, the seed for this episode is going to be, try look beyond conflict. Try look beyond the differences, beyond the negativity, and look to find the common ground. Because the common ground where we understand that people are simply trying to go about their lives, send their children to school, watch them grow a career, develop their own life and explore their dreams. We're all trying to do that. So who are each one of us to get in each other's way? If we can understand that we are all on our own mission to pursue our life's passions and understand who we are as human beings, then I hope maybe we can get to a state of empathy opposed to judgment. Anyway, all the best, and I'll catch you in the next one.